Hi everyone, welcome back to the Parent Pod channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a few different things just to support your child's learning in reception mainly, but these are things you can start doing before, start doing during, and even start doing after. I have been teaching since 2008 and last year was my first year teaching in reception. It's where I learned a lot about teaching in the early years. What I'm going to talk about is really based on my experience, so hopefully it will be helpful to some people. Excuse the cat seems to want to be filming today, don't you, Coco? Hey, you want some cuddles? So yes, I think we're going to be accompanied by the cat. What I'm going to say isn't going to apply to every single child because every child is different. They learn in different ways, they learn at different rates. So I'm just picking up some main points that I hope you will find helpful. So number one thing I would say would be a really good thing to do is go to Google and type in development matters. It is non-statutory guidelines that basically it's broken down into age bands, and it tells you what sort of things your child should be able to do at different ages, and the age bands overlap because, as I said, all children are different, they learn at different rates, and they might not necessarily be doing something in one area of learning, but they might be doing something in another area of learning. So probably confusing you about areas of learning. So if you didn't know, there are 17 areas of learning in the foundation stage. The age bands are from birth to 11 months, 8 to 20 months, 16 to 26 months, 22 to 36 months, 30 to 50 months, and 40 to 60 months. These are all the things that we want the children to work towards so they can achieve the early learning goal by the end of reception. At the end of the reception year, your child will be given sort of a level in terms of their learning in the foundation stage. So they will get emerging if they haven't quite met the early learning goal. They will get expected if they've met the expected in that area, and they will get exceeding. Now I'm pretty sure most schools will work the same. We give children an overall grade, so I don't want to call it a grade because it's not really a grade, but I'm not sure how else to word it. So your child may get expected overall, but they might be exceeding in a particular area of learning. So yeah, this is a really good thing to have a look at and say, and when I was teaching last year, I'd look at it and think, oh, Elliot can do this, but he can't do that. And it just gives you an idea of what you're working towards. So yeah, I'd really recommend going and having a look at that online. Phonics. Now, a lot of parents have said to me, oh, I'm a bit worried about phonics. I don't know whether I'm saying the right sounds. I don't know whether the right order. So I would say find out what phonics program your child's school teaches, and then you can kind of look it up. The main thing I would say is that if you are going to do phonics at home with your children, whether you're home learning or you're just doing, you want to do some extra practice with them, make sure you are saying the sounds correctly. So for example, letters like M and N, I find children often come in pronouncing them not quite how they're supposed to. So they'll say M for M and N for N, whereas it should be M for M and N for N. So I'm not going to go into a phonics lesson, but I would recommend checking out a website called Mr. Thorne. I think it's mrthorne.com. Mr. Thorne is a primary school teacher. He has got his own YouTube channel, his own website, and he does all the sounds. He does high frequency words. He's got a little puppet called Geraldine, and she's a giraffe. And I use him in my phonics teaching. So if I want the children to see someone else making a sound, not just me, I will put a video on the screen so they can see someone else. They can see the shape of the mouth to help them make that sound. So yeah, Mr. Thorne does phonics. Really recommend checking it out. He obviously does the sounds, he pronounces them, so if you're not sure, it's worth having a look at. And also with phonics, you can get things to support learning at home. You can even make them yourself. But I picked up these ABC flashcards from Aldi, and they were only £2.49. I really love these. They're really colourful and bright and sort of clear. So you've got the capital and the lowercase letter. Personally, I wanted these because they had the capital and the lowercase letter, because I wanted Elliot to recognise them both at the same time. And then on the other side, it's got a nice picture. Okay, another tip I would say is to do with numbers. Now I found that children could rote count, so they could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and so on, but when they're actually counting, you know, like pictures or objects, which is obviously a bit trickier, they weren't necessarily counting all of them. And that's obviously a skill we teach in the early years, but that's something I'd say you can support your child at home. You can count their toys, count bits of pasta, obviously not cooked pasta, hard pasta. Yeah, and just, you know, make it fun. I'm not saying like sit down and, you know, spend 10 minutes looking at numbers. If you're out and about, you can count loads of different things, so how many children are in the park, if you're at the park, or how many buses are at the bus stop, you know, whatever kind of interest your child, you can incorporate kind of learning, you know, their learning into it. Another thing is like number recognition. Yeah, so ordering numbers, like you can get loads of, you can get like number cards. You know, I've got these for Elliot, I bought them from a garden centre. It's got the numbers and it's got like dots on, so you can count the dots and then you can, you know, match it to the numbers. So yeah, I'd say number recognition. Again, you can do things while you're out and about, so looking at door numbers, bus numbers, things like that. Really worth doing. And the last thing I would say, if they're not already, be more independent and getting themselves dressed, putting shoes on, taking shoes off, just because it really helps them when it comes to, you know, putting their coats on and doing zips up when they go out to playtime, when they're getting changed for PE. If they can already do it by themselves, you know, it's a confidence builder. If they know they can get ready all by themselves, it's a nice thing for them. So yeah, that's another thing I would say. But they are just a few things that I would say are helpful. I hope you found them useful. Thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed to the Parent Pod already, don't forget to do it, and we'll see you soon. Bye!
Hi, I'm Kay from Mummy Bee.
Hi everyone.
Hi guys, I'm Emma. Today I'm going to be talking about starting school and my survival tips.
My daughter Darcy is going to be starting school for the first time in September, and as a teacher myself, there has been some times where I really worried about it, even though she's not really fazed about it. I actually teach secondary age students, so this is kind of new territory for me too, but